The One Ronnie. And here he is, Ronnie Corbett.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, dear, thought I'd never get here. Anyway, no, I keep fitter than you think, you know. Be honest, I have my own treadmill at home. I'm only doing widths at the moment. Welcome, anyway, welcome to this very special birthday show. I must say it's given me quite a thrill to be back here at the BBC. By the way, there was a disaster in the West End tonight, don't know, you may have heard, when Wasps, the musical, opened and the entire cast got stuck behind the curtain. And it is rumoured that the publishers have recalled the long-awaited book on the history of sellotape. Apparently no one can find the beginning. Anyway, a grandfather has gone missing after eating 4 cans of baked beans, 2 cauliflowers, and a jar of gherkins. Now, his family have made an emotional appeal for him not to come home for at least a fortnight. Ron Knuckles was buried today at a service attended by the criminal underworld. As a mark of respect, the ceremony ended with 2 minutes violence. Now, by the way, we have heard today that Britain's most absent-minded man received a nasty bump on the head after he dashed upstairs and realised he'd forgotten something. He'd forgotten he lived in a bungalow. Now, oh, this is such a sweet story, true. A man from Dagenham, by the way, has named his son TGF 308F. He said he may not be rich, but when he eventually leaves his son his Ford Mondeo, at least he'll have his own personality number plate. Thank you very much. You'll forgive me sitting down for a moment, I hope, won't you? I'm still rather puffed out from blowing out my candles on my 80th birthday cake. Took 5.5 hours. with a little nap halfway through. What with that and the bumps, you know, it was rather a strenuous afternoon. I scarcely had the energy for my traditional pub crawl and midnight kebab. It was a lovely day, and I was terribly spoiled. I mean, my gorgeous granddaughter, Tiffany Bianca, sweet... I know, it's a lovely name, isn't it? Tiffany Bianca. She sweetly got me a nap for my phone. Now, I'm sure you're aware phones can do almost anything these days, except, of course, persuade whichever department store or utility company you happen to be phoning to actually answer the damn thing. Don't get me started on phone queues, or I shall go on all night. Well, I shall probably go on all night anyway. For goodness sake, don't encourage me, because I promised my great-granddaughter, Beyonce Gaga, that I'd be home in time to read her a story. Actually, my family always complain that I'm extremely difficult to buy presents for, you know. Socks are, of course, the traditional default present for gentlemen of a certain age. Golfing socks, you know, in my case, which I can never get enough of. But as Anne points out, it's extremely difficult to get a really decent Argyle check in the children's department. Yes. It won't surprise you to learn that I do have rather small feet. Dainty, they'd be called. ballet dancer's feet. And no, in fact, as a young man, I danced several leads for the Hibernian and Strathclyde Amateur Bowls and Ballet Society. Until an unfortunate incident with a rather restrictive jockstrap put an end to a promising career. I went from Sugar Plum Fairy to Nutcracker in one... in one ill-judged leap. Oh, dear. Of course, the very best present I got this year was the BBC giving me this lovely special programme. Now, I don't get a lot of work these days, you see. Even Panto's dried up. I mean, as a juvenile, my Tinkerbell was a firm favourite. And in later years, people would come from miles around to see me present my dick. Which is an old joke, I know. But then I'm a very old comic. So try to see laughing as care in the community, if you will. Speaking of aging, the ironic thing is I feel that I've sort of grown into these chair monologues of mine. I mean, let's face it, what they consist of is me telling a story while constantly losing my way and repeating myself, which these days applies to pretty much everything I say. My whole life has become a Ronnie chair monologue, which is funny, isn't it? Well, I hope it is funny. Oh, dear. I'm beginning to sound like one of those grumpy old men, and I'm not. I've always tried to move with the times, which, of course, brings me back to Tiffany Bianca's lovely phone app, which was, as she explained to me, a sat-nav device with which I'd be able to find my way to anywhere I fancied in the whole world just by consulting my telephone, which is lovely. And next year, I'm hoping she'll get me a very long flex, because currently I can only get 3 yards from the hall skirting board, which was where my phone is plugged into the wall. So there you are, you have it all. And I should like, if I may, to conclude by wishing a happy birthday to octogenarians everywhere. Thank you very much. There we are. Thank you very much. I hope you had a wonderful evening and enjoyed this show. It's really been quite lovely. For old time's sake, I would just like to say that there's a police message that we have been asked to give you, saying that a man who lost 8 bottles of whiskey at Euston Station this morning, if you please go to the Lost Property Office by platform 9, where the man who found them has just been handed in. Still, there's been some good news for the burglar who fell inside a combine harvester whilst on the run last week. His family said he'll soon be out on bail. Oh, I know. And sad news, of course, is that the funeral took place today of Mr. Spencer P. Dobson, a famous compiler of crossword puzzles. After a short service, he was buried 6 down and 3 across. So it's good night from me. I hope you enjoyed yourself.